الله الرحمن الرحيم وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Hazrat Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is reported to have said, يدخل الفقراء الجنة قبل الأغنياء ب500 عام رواه الترمذي. That the poor people, they will enter into Jannah before the wealthy by a period of 500 years. This is because the wealthy people, they will be questioned in regards to their wealth. Where did they earn their wealth from? Where did they spend their wealth? And the poor people, they won't have to undergo such reckoning. So they will enter into Jannah half a day before the wealthy people. And this half a day is a period of 500 years. According to some narrations, it comes that the poor people will enter into Jannah before the wealthy people by 40 years. So there's no contradiction. Where it says 40 years, it is to indicate that it's a long period of time. But the condition is that those that were poor, they exercised patience and they were content and grateful upon the decision of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Some have said that the 500 years refer to the poor muhajirin. That the poor muhajirin, they will enter into Jannah 500 years earlier. And 40 years refers to the normal people. The normal poor people, they will enter 40 years before the wealthy people into Jannah. وعن ابن عباس وإمران بن الحسين رضي الله عنهما عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال, as Abdullah bin Abbas رضي الله عنه narrates from Nabi صلى الله عليه وسلم, he says, اطلعت في الجنة فرأيت أكثر أهلها الفقراء. That I looked into Jannat and I found most of the people of Jannat are the poor people. This is referring either to the night of Mi'raj when Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam undertook this journey. This is when Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam saw that most of the poor people were in Jannah. This is because of the piety that they had, because of the patience that they had, and some ulama say not necessarily because of their poverty, but because of their piety and because of their patience. وَاطَّلَعْتُ فِي النَّارِ فَرَأَيْتُ أَكْثَرَ أَهْلِهَا النِّسَاءِ. And I peeped into Jahannam and I saw most of the people of Jahannam will be women folk. Muttafaqun alayh. This is a narration of Bukhari and Muslim Sharif. Why? Because women, they generally curse a lot. They disobey their husbands. And women, you can do everything. A man does everything for her for his entire life. One day she doesn't get something and she says, I've got nothing from you my entire life. You've done nothing for me. So very lot of ingratitude in women. So therefore Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that most of the dwellers of Jahannam will be women. وعن أسامة بن زيد رضي الله عنهما عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال, Hazrat Usama bin Zayd رضي الله تعالى عنه narrates from Nabi صلى الله عليه وسلم, قمت على باب الجنة فكان عامة من دخلها المساكين. I stood upon the door of Jannat and I found that most of the people that entered it were the masakin, the destitutes, the poor people. They entered Jannat. وَأَصْحَابُ الْجَدِّ مَحْبُوسُونَ. And the wealthy people, they were held back. غَيْرَ أَنَّ أَصْحَابَ النَّارِ قَدْ أُمِرَ بِهِمْ إِلَى النَّارِ. Except that the people, the dwellers of the fire of Jahannam, they were sent off to the fire of Jahannam. In the next hadith, وَعَنْ أَبِي هُرَيْرَةَ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُ عَنِ النَّبِيِّ صَلَى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم قال, Hazrat Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu narrates from Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam that he said, أَصْدَقُ كَلِمَةٍ قَالَهَا شَاعِرٌ كَلِمَةُ لَبِيدٍ. That the most truthful word which any poet had said was the word of Labid, the poet Labid. What he said, أَلَا كُلُّ شَيْءٍ مَا خَلَى اللَّهَ بَاطِلُ مُتَّفَقٌ عَلَيْهِ. That listen, everything besides Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala is null and void. Narration of Bukhari and Muslim. The entire poem is أَلَا كُلُّ شَيْءٍ مَا خَلَى اللَّهَ بَاطِلُ. That listen, everything besides Allah Ta'ala is null and void. Everything will come to an end. وَكُلُّ نَعِيمٍ لَا مَحَالَةَ زَائِلُ. And every ni'mat, every bounty, that is also going to come to an end. This is also proven from Quran Sharif. Allah Ta'ala says, كُلُّ مَنْ عَلَيْهَا فَانٍ. That whoever or whatever is on the surface of the earth, everything is going to perish. Everything is going to come to an end. So poetry, we are not prohibited from poetry. But the poetry, there are certain conditions for poetry to be valid in Shariah. Number one, the content of the poetry, it has to be permissible. It can't be impermissible content. Number two, the poetry must be recited by a man. It cannot be recited by a female. It cannot be recited by a young boy that hasn't reached the age of puberty. Number three, no musical instruments must be used. And fourthly, the reciter should be righteous. He should be a pious person. We'll continue.